Hey guys, welcome to this video. So it has been a long time, not a very long time, but still it has been a long time since I last came live on YouTube. Live in the sense I captured a video of me talking and uploading. So this is not a live video, but you know what I mean. So first of all, happy Puja to all of my Indian viewers. You know that the Durga Puja is a very special occasion in India. And even abroad. So that's it. Happy Puja to everyone. So in this video I'll just talk about some basic, I will talk about something which needs to be said. And so if you're interested, you can watch the video, and I'll also share some updates and some new videos about some future videos, my plans for the future videos. So that's it guys, let's start this video. First of all, the biggest update is that the updated edition of my book Our Physics So Far is now available on Amazon. If you live outside India, you can order the Kindle version. The paperback will be available soon, and if you live inside India, you can order the paperback or Kindle or whatever you wish from the Amazon.in store or Flipkart or the Notion Press store as well. So this is the book Our Physics So Far, the updated edition by Arpan Dey. So I have done a lot of videos about the book, announcing the launch of the book. So I will not talk about all those things here, because that will be just a waste of your time and my time as well. But I will talk about something which I have never said before about this book. In this book I have included a lot of personal incidents, personal reflections, personal stories, and a lot of personal opinions. However, at the same time, I have excluded a lot of the metaphysical parts. Like in the original book, there were a lot of metaphysics and a lot of, you know what I mean, a lot of related to consciousness. I mean, I'm not saying metaphysics is a bad thing, I'm not saying that, but most of my metaphysical arguments, they are flawed and they don't have any basis, they don't have any logical basis to be included in the book. Like, I don't have any proof for them, I don't have any evidence for them. They are just my metaphysical argument. By metaphysics, I am referring to my metaphysical arguments which are included in the original book and included in some of my writings as well. But the point is that those are not at all scientific, and so I have excluded them from this book. And in this book I have argued why science is, or more specifically physics, is better than metaphysics, and why we should focus on physics instead of focusing on metaphysics. I have argued just my personal opinion. I am not saying metaphysics is useless, I am not saying metaphysics is a bad thing, but you can't deny that physics is more important than metaphysics. That's all I am trying to say. And I have addressed a lot of the big questions, like, was the universe created by chance, or is there God, what is consciousness, and a lot of the big questions in the sense not just the philosophical questions but also the questions regarding physics, like whether we will ever discover a theory of everything, is string theory really a promising theory, or should we accept string theory as an established scientific theory until and unless we have enough experimental support, and a lot of other issues as well, like about the standard model and a lot of other things. So, and at places in between I have included some personal experiences just so that to enrich the text, to enrich the reading experience, because a book which will just state the facts in a cold manner will not be interesting to read, right? So basically my writing style has changed, and I think it has changed for the better, or in other words, it has improved. I think, of course, I am no one to say that, my readers will be the judges, but I think this book, and not just I think, to those people who have read this book, not the whole of it, not the entire book, but at least some parts of it, according to them, this book is better than the original edition. That they can say, they have emphasized on that point, that this book is better than the original edition. There are a lot of drawbacks, of course, because I'm not a professional writer, and even professional writers don't get all things right. But this is better than the original edition, and also all the scientific explanations I have in this book, I have supported. I have explained using more lucid and more simple words, and I have given more good analogies, more good descriptions, so that you understand it. Because this is a popular science book, this is for the general reader, this is not a book, not a textbook or anything of the sort. And also I have, you know what I mean, I have included a lot of I've made the arguments much more scientific. I've cross-checked everything on the internet. Internet means on reliable sources like university websites, and not on sources like Wikipedia or things, on reliable sources. And I've cross-checked everything, and there were some slight errors in the physics, in the technicalities of physics in the original edition. So all those things have been rectified, and the suggested reading list has been updated, and I have also used a lot of quotes from other popular science books, the quotes which I find interesting, because of course these authors, they can communicate science in a much better way than I can. I am just a novice in this field. I am interested in physics, but that doesn't mean I am an expert in physics. I am just a novice. So of course, if I use their quotes, their statements, that will make you understand the topic in a better way, because I am not so good at explaining stuff. I'm just a physics undergraduate right now. But I've tried my best, and yeah, I think this book will be better than the original. So next important thing is that if you would like to read the book, but for some reason you don't want to buy the book, like if you can't afford the book, I think most of you will be able to afford the book, because like you have internet connection, you have YouTube and everything. So I don't think buying a book with for rupees 500 will be a big issue for you. But still, I am talking in general. If you can't afford the book, then you can always email me at arpand2004@gmail.com. I'm always ready to share free PDFs with you, because see, my target is to communicate science. My target is to make sure that people get interested in physics by reading this book, or by reading other books as well. So of course, if you want a free PDF, I'll get a free PDF. I'll request you not to share it with anybody without my consent. But even if you do share, I don't care, because I'm not doing business. That's it. Next, one more important issue, which I already discussed it in a previous video of mine, and this has become a sort of motto of mine. Actually, this one person told me this one. One of my, you can say, mentors, and one of my seniors, like seniors in the sense he is a very old person, he's a educator and he's a good person. So he asked me, so our views do not match on all occasions, like we are not of the same opinion, but this terminology I borrowed from him, not the idea is mine, the idea is not just mine, the idea is a common idea, but this terminology I borrowed from him. It's that I recently uploaded a video, the last video in the channel. Ordered complexity is a fortunate product of random processes. So this is according to me, I've read a lot of books, lot of popular science books, and I've done a lot of researching on the internet. I've taken a lot of short courses and everything and stuff before writing this book. So based on all my experience and all my learning and everything, I have come to the conclusion that this is the most likely and the most sensible view, that ordered complexity is a fortunate product of random processes. Now what does it mean? It sounds like jargon to some of you, like what even I'm talking about. Ordered complexity, what is that? So basically, life is complex and life is orderly. Life requires some order. It's not entirely random. And in fact, if you see a watch lying on the road, suppose you see a watch lying on the road, then you would assume it was made by someone, because so many atoms and molecules by themselves, they assemble into a watch, into a complex watch which is functioning all by itself, which is ticking by and showing you the right time. So this cannot happen. This can happen in principle, but it's very, very unlikely that all the atoms will assemble just in the right way to make a watch. So usually, if there is a watch, there is a watchmaker. Similarly, our body, it's an extremely complex thing, and it has some order also. So it also probably, there is a maker of our body, there is someone who made us, and that someone is God. So this is the argument. But Charles Darwin has shown through his evolution theory that complexity can arise over time, gradually over the long period of time, from simplicity and from randomness as well. So ordered complexity is a fortunate product, fortunate because otherwise we won't be here, and fortunate product of random processes. So inherently everything is random. Just so, like life or consciousness, it's just a possible combination of possible sorry, it's just a possible representation, a possible expression of a complex system, which can arise when the simple parts interact in a complex way, sort of emergence. So basically, I have discussed all of this in the book in much better way, because right now those right words are not coming to my mouth. So, but the thing is that at the same time, when I'm saying everything is random deep down, like there is no, I should say, there is no point to be discovered in nature. There is no divine purpose for us. There is no, like there is no God, or we are not meant to do something. We are not sent for some divine purpose. Our lives do not mean anything special. It is just an accident, and everything is meaningless. In fact, our life is just our quest to find meaning in an inherently meaningless world. We need to find meaning. This is important, because we need to find some meaning in life, because otherwise to live the life, we need to find something worth living for. So that's why life is our quest to find meaning. But in an inherently meaningless world, the world is by itself meaningless. There is no meaning to be discovered in the, like we can discover meaning in the sense we can find our own meanings. We can assign our own meanings to ourselves. But there is no inherent meaning of life. Like as an example, at one point of time we thought that the earth was special. The earth was at the center of the universe. Then we found out that the earth was just another planet orbiting just another star like millions others. Then we thought maybe we were special. Earth was maybe the only planet with life, and we were sent for some divine purpose, something like that. Then we found out that life was just the process of some accidents like the Miller experiment and some abiogenesis, like some chemical compounds under energy, lightning energy and ultraviolet rays. They just formed complex molecules, and then through the process of natural selection and stuff, they evolved into complex life forms. So, but this is, we don't know whether life exists on other planets, but it's possible that life exists on other planets. It's not prohibited by the laws of physics, and it's likely also that among so many planets, life exists in a few other planets. So that means even we are not special. So all this has led people to say that all science has done is to show that life is meaningless. There is no great meaning, divine meaning in our lives. Well, that is true, but this point is explained very good in the book Incognito by David Eagleman. It's a very great book, Incognito by David Eagleman. I have referred to that book in some previous cases also on my YouTube channel. So here in the book, David Eagleman argues that whatever we have lost in egocentrism, like we are at the center of the universe, we are special, was counterbalanced in wonder and awe. Like isn't it wonderful to think that we are not lonely, like we are surrounded by so many mysterious planets and stars and so many, like a huge universe, so much of it is covered in mystery. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it awesome? And isn't it exciting to think about these things? So it's not like life is meaningless, and it's not like we are not special, because the universe doesn't care about us. Yeah, the universe doesn't care about us, but we care about the universe, and that is what makes us special. This is what Sean Carroll said in his book, The Big Picture. The universe doesn't care about us, but we care about the universe, and that is what makes us special. So life is still not meaningless. Like there is some meaning in life, but it's a mistake to think that everything has some inherent meaning, life has some inherent meaning, some divine meaning, and all those religious and superstitious views I'm talking about. So, and I've also discussed a lot of other issues like, psychic phenomena, like extrasensory perception, and I generally don't believe in these things like panpsychism and everything. So these things are something referred to as pseudoscience. Now there may be more to it. I'm not saying that this is pseudoscience, because we definitely need to explore these ideas further, because there might be something to it. But at this point, I am more inclined to think that these ideas do not have any solid experimental or scientific evidence in support of them. So I have all these points of discussion I've included in the book, and one last thing is that I've discussed in a very good way, in a very unique way, like my take on whether God exists or not. So I wrote a blog a long time ago. For those of you who know my website, Journal of Young Physicists, not my website, it's the website of a blog I founded, and anybody can submit articles there. It's not my personal website. So there I wrote a blog, Did Einstein Believe in God? So there I discussed a bit about Einstein's psychology and whether he believed in God, and if yes, why, if no, why, all those things I've discussed. I discussed atheism, agnosticism and all those things. So in this book also I've discussed those things, and basically I would like to discuss two more things in this video. and both of these things were asked to me by one of my readers. This reader of mine, she emailed me, and her question was, is science going to end? Because I have discussed about that topic in the conclusion section of the book. In the conclusion of the book, is science going to end? So that's what we'll be discussing at the end. But before that, another of my reader whom I personally know, so he asked me, not by email or something, because we are in direct correspondence, so he directly asked me, what is the point of, don't take it otherwise, I'm not trying to hurt your religious feelings, I'm not trying to hurt your festive mood or everything, but what's the point of this Durga Puja and everything when we know that God doesn't exist? At least that's the most likely thing. We can't say we know God doesn't exist, but that's likely, that's most likely according to me and according to many more people as well. So what's the point of worshipping a statue and everything? So although I have written in the book that I don't believe in God, and religion has more often misguided science than guided it, and religion is, like Steven Weinberg already said, that if you, like, for good people to do good things, like with or without religion, good people will do good things and bad people will do bad things. But for good people to do bad things, that takes religion. So that's a very bold statement and somewhat true also, but it may not be true in all the cases, because we still need religion. We need something to live for. We still need religion because religion binds us together. Religion unites us together. Like in our college, I recently started studying in St. Xavier's College, Autonomous, Kolkata, for a BSc Honours in Physics course, and we have an optional subject, not optional, we have a compulsory course, but it's not in the main subject list. It's called Foundation course. So there we have to discuss this about religion and why it's important and stuff like that. So the professor who is teaching us, she said these things, like religion binds us together and it's required to some extent. Yeah, there are people who misuse religion. Obviously there are people who misuse religion, who do whatnot in the name of religion, but it's not correct saying that since God doesn't exist, so religion is also useless, and worshipping God, like these festivals like Durga Puja, is also useless. Because number one, the most important thing is that it gives employment to a lot of people. Because in my country, a lot of people who live in the rural areas, you know, in our festival of Durga Puja, for those of you who are viewing outside India, you will not know those things, or you may know as well, but just to let you know, there is a instrument called the drum. Not the drum in the sense that music, that modern drums you get to hear in the modern music shows and everything. It's called, in Bengali it's called the dhak. It's called the dhak. So it's just a sort of instrument where you just have to beat with some sticks and it produces a sound, a music, and that's the auspicious sound which is played during the puja, during the worshipping of the goddess Durga. So many people in my country who live on the countryside and rural areas and even in the towns, they are dhakis by profession, and dhakis means they play this instrument. And the only time in the year they get employment is during the Durga Puja. So their family depends on it. Then the people who are making the statues, making the idols, making the replicas of the goddess, the idols of the goddess, that's an employment. The people who are making the pandals and everything, the decoration and everything, that's an employment for them, and it is required. Even on a psychological level, even on an emotional level, it's required. I don't believe in God, but I enjoy Durga Puja very much. I go to all the pandal hopping, I go to see all the goddesses, and I go outside, I enjoy a lot. So that's required. I don't believe in God, but that doesn't mean I will boycott this festival. So the question he asked was, what is the use of these festivals like this when we know that God doesn't exist? Because it's a waste of money. It is a waste of money in some sense, because ultimately this is nothing productive. Okay, this is nothing productive. You're just making some pandals, making some idols, and then you have to destroy all of them and then again make some next year. So it's just but it's still important because it provides employment to a lot of people, number one. Number two, it brings us together, so it's a social requirement, you can say. And that's it. Those two are enough reasons to justify this festival. So once more I would like to say Happy Puja to all of you. Enjoy this day as much as possible, and So yeah, one more thing. I recently in my college I'm learning a lot of stuff like differential equations and real analysis and complex analysis and vector analysis and so these kind of things. So I thought about doing some videos, but I am now not living in Burdwan. So this is my right now. I'm in Burdwan in my home, and here I have this board and I have this camera. I have these markers, and here I have all the previous videos I've taught, like class 11, 12 science and other videos I have taught on this board. So, but I'm in holiday now for this month October. But after my college reopens, I will have to move to Kolkata. So there I don't have board, and I find it very difficult to give lectures or make videos on mobiles or laptops. Like I find it very difficult. So I am comfortable with these boards, these physical whiteboards and marker pens. So that's it. It will not be possible for me to upload videos frequently. For some of you were asking whether I would be able to upload videos. But since I am in holiday now for this 1 month, not 1 month, about 3 weeks are left, some 3 weeks and a few days. So I will try to, not today or tomorrow, because now I'm enjoying the Durga Puja, and plus I'm not very well right now physically. So I need to recover, but I hope I'll recover by 2 days, 2 to 3 days. But after that, I'm planning to drop some videos on real analysis, because I found real analysis really interesting. And real analysis in the sense point set topology, sequence and countability of sets, like Cantor's set, Cantor's diagonal argument, infinity, then point set topology, limit points of a set, Athenian points and all those things. So in 12th we learned a basic about, in 12th or in 11th I think, or whatever, we learned a basic about set theory. So this is just an extension of set theory, but it's a lot different, and it's a lot more important and much more interesting, and we just learned the very basics of set theory in class 11 12. So that's not, don't think it's similar to that. There are a lot of new things, and this is like pure mathematics. So I'm in fact right now I'm enjoying mathematics more than physics. Like I have 2 subjects, mathematics and physics, and computer science as well, but computer science is from the 2nd year, so I don't have to study it right now. So I'm enjoying mathematics even more than physics, mainly because the 1st year we have the classical mechanics and everything. So I'm always very weak at mechanics, as some of you might know. My main interest lies in modern physics and quantum and high energy physics and stuff like that, even relativity, but classical mechanics I'm very weak at that. So like I'm very poor at solving classical mechanics problems, and I understand the basics, but I'm not very good at solving the problems, and I don't find it very interesting either. So yeah, so that's so I just wanted to talk with you guys on like some personal discussions, and if you want to discuss anything with me, the comments are open. You can always comment, or you can you can reach out to me on my email or whatever you wish, whatever you want. And yeah, if you want to read the book and can't afford it, please do reach out to me, because I want my book to be read by as many people as possible, and I want feedback from you. Don't hesitate to tell me if it's bad, if it's not worth it. Don't hesitate to tell me, but I want feedback. Whether good, whether bad, that will depend on you, but I want some feedback if possible. So, and if you can buy it, that would be the best way to support me. You can buy it. I have already given the Amazon link in some previous videos, or you can just search Arpande or Our Physics So Far on Amazon.in or Amazon.com, whatever. So you will look out for the updated edition, not the original edition. So, and this book is it's about 390 pages. You can see it's a bit longer than the original edition, because I've added many more concepts, and have made it much more rigorous and stuff. But I think you'll enjoy the book. So that's all I wanted to say, guys. And anything else, just give me a second. Yeah, I told you I'll discuss one more thing. Is science going to end? So that's the last point I'll discuss, and then I'll finish up with this video. It's already 24 minutes long, but yeah, I'm doing this after a long time, so I don't mind. But I think you don't have enough patience to watch 24 minutes long videos, so I'll try to make it as short as possible. So I recently read a book called The End of Science by John Horgan. John Horgan is a science journalist, and this book is a very important book. It's a very, and if you don't have time to read the book, even I myself didn't finish the book. I just read some parts of it. So then there is a website, maybe I'll give the link in the description. There is a article in edge.org, edge.org. It's a website. So in that website there is an article written by John Horgan, titled "Why I Think Science is Going to End" or something like that, like in the lines of that. So his argument is that we are living in an age of rapid progress. Progress in the sense technological progress, because progress in theoretical physics has been very slow for the last couple of decades, because there has been no verification of string theory, and we have been discovering this and that important information, but there has been no breakthroughs, to be honest, no major breakthrough after the verification of the standard model. And before that there were quantum mechanics, relativity, then standard model, but after that no breakthrough, no major breakthrough. But technologically we are advancing at a very fast pace. But the thing is that according to Horgan, it's a mistake to think that this technological advancement will continue forever at an ever increasing rate, or at least at the same rate, because there is a limit to everything, sort of. That's what he intends to say. I think I may be wrong, I may be misinterpreting him, but that's what he intends to say. And the thing is that there must be some ultimate truth, because if there is no ultimate truth, if we go on discovering more and more accurate theories, but there is no ultimate truth, then that's not probable, that's not likely, because there must be some ultimate truth in this universe, according to which the universe functions. There must be some ultimate theory of everything, there must be some unified field theory. So that's what I'm trying to say. So there must be some ultimate truth. Now whether we will be able to discover it or whether it's impossible for us to discover it, that is a different issue. I don't want to talk about it here, but let us assume for a moment that we will be able to discover it. Then once we discover the ultimate truth, science will come to an end, obviously. And even if we can't discover the ultimate truth, but at some point after we will reach the limits of our knowledge, I think we obviously will reach the limits of our knowledge. It's not like we'll go on discovering new and new stuff, according to Horgan. So in that case also science will come to an end. So Horgan thinks that science is going to come to an end anytime soon. But there are 2 points I would like to say against Horgan, and that's that in the history of science, many times we thought that we were closing in on the final truth, only to realize that there was much more to learn. Like Albert Michelson once said that all that remained in physics was to fill in the 6th decimal place. Like everything was discovered, only more accuracy could be achieved in the future. Like electromagnetism and gravitation were discovered at that amount of time. So he thought that only those two were the known forces. Then came quantum mechanics, then the strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force, and so a lot of new stuff were discovered after that. So today we think that maybe after the verification of string theory or after some other quantum gravity approach, maybe we will find the theory of everything. But it may not be that easy, because the more we undiscovered, like the more we unearth new stuff, the more new questions will arise, and we have to find the answers to these questions, right? And basically we have to, you know what I mean? Even if we do discover the final truth, even if there is nothing new to discover theoretically, the practical consequences, and implications of what we have discovered, the implications and consequences of our theoretical knowledge, working that out will also take a lot of time. So her question was, is science going to end? My answer is, science will possibly end one day, but I don't think we are near there yet. I don't think it's going to end anytime soon, but possibly it might end one day. It might end as we know it, because of course it will not go on like this indefinitely, but I don't think we are near it. Just my personal opinion, I don't think we are near that end yet. Our journey, a major part of the journey is left. There is still a long way to go. So full steam ahead. And that's all I wanted to say. I wrote a blog about this on my website urbanday.net. You can check it out if you wish. Is science going to end? And so yeah, that's all for this video, guys. And once more, happy Puja to all. Enjoy the Puja as much as you can, and spend time with the family, friends, because these few days you get the holidays, all of you. So this is time for us to come together, and I'm also enjoying the best way I can. And so this is if you want to one last time, I know I am repeating this, a lot of stuff, but one last time, if you want to read the updated edition of Art Physics so far, and if you can't afford the paperback or Kindle, you can just email me. I will email you a free PDF, whoever you are. But please don't share it with anyone without my consent. That's the only condition. So that's all, guys, and stay happy, stay safe, and thank you very much. And if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. There are a lot of important and good videos coming up. Thank you.